Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 3 who will be presenting the cluster mapping method for writing skills in ELT. Before that, let's introduce the members of our group. My name is Nadia with class 3-digit student number 085. Next.
My name is Miftahul. My last three students number is 077.
My name is Silva Muharani with my students number 222122088.
I'm Salsabila with my students number 222122095.
My name is Fatimah with students number 222122099.
And my name is Najwa with students number 222122106.
All right, some points we will present are next method. Description, user of this method, the principle, the procedure, the advantages, the disadvantages, preparation, warming up activities, core activities, and warming down activities. Next. The definition will be presented by me. The cluster mapping method is a pre-writing technique that helps writers generate and organize ideas. This is a visual nonlinear approach to brainstorming, allowing the writer to see the connection between different ideas and main topics. Cluster mapping, also called idea mapping, is a great way to show relationship between ideas. Cluster mapping is also part idea generation and part organization. So students will know exactly how to group their ideas once they are ready to write. A cluster or mapping combines the two stages of brainstorming, recording ideas, and then grouping them into one. Next, the user and principle of this method will be presented by Miftah.
All right, thank you, Nadia. And here I'd like to present about the user of this method. As we know, this method, cluster mapping, should be used for everyone. This method can be used by anyone who wants to improve their writing skill, especially by using this this method. It should be organizing our idea as well as possible. And then another that, including for many specific criteria such as students and also professionals or lecturers and also everyone who needs to improve their their writing skill as well as possible. And then now we are going to the next one. The principle of this method combines two stages of brainstorming. First one, noting down ideas, then grouping them into one. And then this allows writers to see at a glance the aspect of the subject they most want to convey. And then helping them choose how to focus the broad subject to write about. And then organizing idea is the goals from this method. By using this method, at least you can organize your ideas so you can make your writing skill more better than before. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you, Nadia.
Okay, next Silva will present about the procedure.
Okay, thank you. I here to talk about the procedure. The first one is choose a topic. Determining the topic is important because the topic will be the main focus and the basis for development of the writing. And the second is write the topic. After refining a topic that write about it, there are grouping starting from the main topics, and then subtopics. The main topic will be a center that can connect all the idea and subtopic. And to make it easier, draw a circle around it. Third, write down related ideas quickly. Once you have a topic, write down the word or the idea you get, and then circle this word and connect them with the keyboard in the center. Fourth, review and organize the cluster. All the idea, the cluster diagram will be connect to each other, and consider the cluster you have created and look back to see if anything missed out or not written down. And begin writing. Once everything is organized, it's time to start writing by following the cluster. It will be easier for the reader as they already know what to write. And the last is expect the cluster. The cluster that have been created are then development back. Okay, that's all for me. I giving back to Nadia.
All right, thank you, Silva. Next, the advantages and disadvantages of this method will be explained by Salsabila.
All right, thank you so much. So the advantages of this cluster mapping method is first, helps writers generate and organize ideas quickly and effectively. So sometimes ideas are just pop up in our head. So if we already make a point, there are some kind of supporting point that just pop up in our head. And next is encourages creative thinking and the exploration of different perspective on a topic. As I mentioned before, that sometimes ideas just pop up in our head. So and some of the idea might be might be expand or expand the topic itself, and also can be a different perspective on the topic. And the last one is provides a visual representation of the relationships between ideas, make it easier to see the overall structure of a piece of writing. So after we all write it down, we can choose which one we want to we want to explain it first or write it first. And for the disadvantages, please. Next slide, please. All right. The first one is, of course, it's not suitable for all types of writing, such as formal academic essays that require a more structured approach. So, as we know, cluster mapping is put the ideas randomly around the original topic or the main topic. So it's not suitable for formal academic writing, such as article or more. And the second one is can be overwhelming for some writers, especially those who prefer a linear thought process. Yes, sometimes we have to choose one of them, and it could be a disaster if a writer with the writer that prefer a linear thought process do this method. So yes, it's not suitable for anyone. Actually, it is good, but yes. Thank you, Nadia.
Okay, next, Najwa will explain preparation and warming up.
All right. Thank you, moderator, for the opportunity. I will explain about preparation and warming up. So for the warming up, there are two important things that we highlight here. The first one is material. To prepare before entering class, of course, we as teachers must master the material that will be presented first. The preparation should not only be about explaining the material, but we must also include various interesting ways of presenting the material. For example, by using guessing games and so on. Also, plan what we will do later in class using the cluster mapping method. And the second one is blank paper. We have to prepare blank paper to later distribute to students in order to implement the cluster mapping method with the plan that we have set in the previous material preparation step. Make sure we understand and master the process of using the cluster mapping method so that there are no mistakes when explaining it to students. Next slide, please. All right, now we move to warming up. So in the group warm up, we focus on these three things. The first one is ask students questions. Asking students aims to improve their critical thinking skills. We can ask them to give their opinion their opinion on a topic related to the material we are going to explain. The second one is games. We can use a game to select students who answer the question. For example, when there are no students who want to answer the question, we can use a game to choose which student will answer the question. For example, with the object relay game while singing, when the song stops, the last student holding the object must answer the question that was asked earlier. And the last one is ask students about the cluster mapping method, whether they have heard of it or not. And if anyone has heard it, give them a chance to explain it. That's all from me. I'll give it back to the moderator. Thank you.
All right, next, core activities and warming down will be explained by Fatimah.
All right, thank you to the moderator has given me the time to explain about this point. Of course, in cluster mapping, we have the core activities. I mean, as a teacher, we have to consider these 3 points. The first one is explain the cluster mapping method and make sure students understand it. Yeah, before we want to try this method, we have to explain about this method to the students until they know about the rules, about the important thing in this method. And the second one is used by students to implement the cluster mapping method. I guess in this point, we have, as a teacher, we have to guide the students about how to use this method. And the third point is give students different topics and tell them to write their opinions using the cluster mapping method. As my friend mentioned before, in the procedure 1, as a teacher, we have to give the topic, what will written by students, and then explain about ask them to develop their ideas from the from the general one to the specific one. Okay, next slide, please. In this point we want to talk about the last one. I mean, the last point we have warming down. So the first point in this warming down, the teacher gives a reflection form to the students based to the cluster mapping method. So after we use this method, we have to do the reflection. It is work or not. It is that this method is help the student to to increase their writing skill. And the last one is the teacher give a summary or closing statement from cluster mapping method. Like the example, teacher asks about the cluster mapping benefit to the students. And we have to realize as a teacher that this method is not always suitable with everyone. I mean, maybe some of the students get the challenges from this method. So we have to make sure that students can really understand about this method. Right. Thank you. It's all for me. I'll give you back to Nadia.
Right, thank you to everyone who delivered a good presentation. Lastly, the conclusion from our presentation is writing is one of the language skills that is very important for our children. In writing, there are many methods that we can use to make it easier to compose the sentences we are going to write, one of which is the cluster mapping methods, which help us to be more practical and effective. We already have ideas for writing. All right, that's all the presentation from group 3. We have that what we have conveyed can be understood by you. If you have any question, please fill in the comment columns. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.